Heraclitus, of course, saw, he saw this transmutation that was always going on. The Greek philosopher, and he said, things are not made by the gods. They're fire, and they become these different forms, and they go back to fire. Transformations of things, what he spent his whole life writing about. He said a nice thing. He understood, as well as everything changing, he felt like there's something we can do as people. And I think in a time that's always changing, and where, I think it's easy to come by the idea that the old agreements have been lost, or falling away, and we don't know what the new agreements in the culture are going to be. We know there's a lot of violence and blame. That's usually in transition times, but we don't know. But we do know our task is to, with the old Chan masters, you don't get caught in that. You can hold the center of things yourself. So there's a kind of discipline of let's do our meditation. Not a bad thing. Stops us getting so caught up in any madness that might be around us. And then you'll notice that, if I look inside, it's always clear what I'm to do now. And so you notice that there's a kind of something reveals itself. And it's not what I thought I should do, it's just I can tell that what's true for me to do. Heraclitus called that character, actually. He said that you don't build your character, you just build your character by a lot of little decisions. And then gradually you'll realize that you've transformed. Like, do your meditation this morning, that kind of thing, little stuff. If you're angry, don't think it's really about someone else. Then you might get free. Even if it is about someone else, it's not about someone else. You're the one who's angry. And so the question of whether you're right or not isn't the interesting one. And then in the meditation, gradually, the like settles and we become free. So that's how to deal with the predicament. Yeah. There's another great, it became a popular thing. There's a legend about it, the story. It was, it's one of those human sacrifice stories that's so lamentably common in human history. The quotation originally comes from scripture on the benevolent king safeguarding the nation. King Kalma Shapada, believing in the words of the non-Buddhist Rata, took the heads of 1,000 kings to sacrifice them in a graveyard to the god Mahakala, the great dark one, the great black one, hoping to prolong the fortune of his nation. There was a king called Samantaloka, begged for a day's reprieve and provided a meal for 100 Dharma teachers. Hey, there's something I've got to do before I die. Hang on a bit, just put it off for a day. And so he gave generosity, dana, really, supporting the temples, that sort of thing. So he gave a meal, so they ate that day. So it was a nice meal. They probably got away with, probably last them a couple of days. And the first Dharma teacher spoke a verse to the king and said, in the raging of the fire at the end of the Kalpa, the whole universe is destroyed. And it's a long verse. And my source here said, It's a long verse, but it just says that, basically. So 32 lines. So, fair enough. So, and then as the king, Samantaloka, was going to his own death, he recited that verse. In the Kalpa Fire, the whole universe is destroyed. And the king who was having everybody killed as a sacrifice, some doubt awoke in him. And he said, he asked about it. And then the king he was about to kill recited the verse. Everything is destroyed. The whole universe is destroyed in the great fire. And his mind opened. He had an awakening. And he gave the kingdom to his brother. And he stopped killing other people. And he went off and practiced. And eventually attained forbearance. So eventually he stopped. The impulse to kill people didn't go straight away. He just, in the end, the impulse to kindness isn't something you can, just put on your refrigerator. And it's not about standing outside yourself and being kind. You notice about, the thing about being here is something you really listen to. Listen to being here. What is here? Just really, we listen. And that's the way, what I'm calling discipline comes, And oh, I'll sit this morning. I'll sit, or I'll help a friend, or I'll stop butting into a friend's life, or whatever it is. I'll make a friend. This tiny small things, and they make a kind of. We do have a shape while we're here, so that's the vessel. We need a kind of vessel to be in, but we don't take it too seriously because. As I mentioned in the beginning, that the things you notice in your mind you think are you, but they're not. It was nice to be free of that. The pop song, the anger about being mistreated, the desire to mistreat someone else, whatever it is. The thinking my life will be better if this person loves me better, or if this other person changes. Well, good luck with that, So, and then there's yet another story about this koan. When the fire at the end of the, is this destroyed or not? Destroyed. So we did that. Then go along with that. Then another person heard about this and asked for yet a third opinion and said, when the fire at the end of the universe rages and destroys the universe, is this destroyed or not? This destroyed or not? Not destroyed, said the other teacher, not destroyed. Why not destroyed? It's the same as the universe, because it's the same as the universe. So. Like 2 Zen teachers, 3 opinions. So that's the emptiness. From the point of view, there's nothing here. You weren't born, you don't die. From the other point of view, it's wonderful to be here and hear the wind or see the fire or whatever it is. So there we are. I noticed Michelle Riddle made it on today. Do you have anything to say?